Alright everybody, welcome back. Warlock of Wifi here. This is a requested video. I know I played Evil Dead quite a bit. This one's a build that I wanted to test out. I've seen others do something similar, but I wanted to put my own spin on it. So today we're giving you my better basic fighters build. Using just basic deadites. So in this build we're going to start off with hemophobia, blood splatters, or maxed out here. We're going to also pair that with 2 levels of high blood pressure. Miss Nobi's quick comeback. Is that Nobi? Alright. And 1 point in the health raiser elite. Because we're not going to focus on our elites in this build. We're going to do easy access to increase or decrease the infernal energy required for summoning. We're also going to max out the heavy damage for our basics. That's really all we're going to take in this top row here. Moving on down, we don't take anything from the second row of traits. Skills! That's the word we'll be using here. So now we're going to take it down. Instead of the second row, we'll go down third row. We're going to do totally grossed out to run, which is they can't sprint when spit upon, which will pair up nicely with too gross to dodge. Both of those kind of synergize with each other. We're going to increase the damage on the projectile vomit. We're going to put 1 point into Granny Hug. We're going to put 3 points into our Rock Steady Basic just to give our balance bar a little boost. Back here, we're going to add a little bit more to the acid damage, and we're also going to add 1 point into the boss, while we can get 3 levels into Hellraiser Basic, 3 levels into Possession Extension, so we decrease the Imperial energy required to stay, and finally, we're going to do Pain Parasite, so that when we do damage, we will regain a portion of that damage back as health. We're going to max that out at 2. And you'll see a little green mist around my characters when they hit with that. We're also going to drop 1 point into cooldown reduction on the Relentless Evil trait. We're going to give us just a small 10%. Then we're going to go down here and we're going to give 1 point into Head Start. We're going to max out Test of Time to increase the amount of time it takes them to capture an objective. We're going to put 2 points into Basic infernal energy requirements decreases for both our basic and our elite. And then we're also going to put 3 points into Gates of Hell basic. And finally, we're going to take infernal revenue, which will increase the amount we get from our orbs. So let's take this out in a game and test it out. So this build really comes into shine with the Warlord, I think, later in the game, once you've started building up your traits in-game, once you get your fear level going up, because then you can buff your basics, you can get more basics, and because of Infernal Revenue, and I forgot what the other one is, but we're going to be able to pump out basics from our portals very quickly. Now, if you've played Evil Dead, you know there's a lot of downtime in this game. There's not action. It's like spurts of action come up. So what we're going to do is, instead of you guys having to sit here and watch the preliminary steps, if you will, of trying to do this through the magic of video editing, you don't have to worry. I'm going to take care of you. We're going to go ahead and cut out some of the dull parts here in this video. Alright, so now, we are just now, they've got all the pieces of the map. So they are actually kind of rushing this a little bit, in my opinion. I might be wrong. But we're going to get our first contact here with a survivor. Now, again, I am not great at this. Plus, also the fact that when I'm using my mouse, right in the middle of my Death Adder Razor mouse, I end up always hitting the sensitivity button. And that's going to come into play a little later on. You'll actually see where I run into some issues with being able to identify where the survivors are. So we're going to take some hits here on this survivor. Now you'll notice as I hit him, a green mist is going to appear around it. There's the green mist. And that is the damage vampirism, if you will, where we're going to gain back some of our life bar while hitting on the survivor. We don't really take him down here, but we force him to use resources. And in this game, resources are king. So if we can force him to use up his resources just to stay alive, and he's kind of made an error here of being by himself. Now, depends on the player, but a lot of times it is not a good idea to go off by yourself. It is usually a better idea to have at least one person with you. But I understand with Hunter class, there is a lot of power in that group with the ability to make dodges, the ability to sprint for long periods of time. So I can understand. Plus the damage output that they do is just insane. You're going to see that here momentarily when we actually get to the group. It's just insane. Now, pro tip here, just to give you a little bit of information while we're doing this. Trapping up these traps like I'm doing are great. But in the early stages, before you get to survivors, you really want to prioritize the trees and you want to prioritize the boxes. If you could trap those up, those give you a lot more initial bang for your buck. So you're going to get a little bit more infernal energy coming in, which will increase your threat level, which will then allow you to boost your traits and boost your characters. Now, I'm spending a lot of time here trying to guess where they are going. Plus, I am very bad. I've talked about resources. I'm very bad about keeping track of my resources. So, we will see that in action a little bit later. Let's go ahead. Now that we've had some time here with the players, let's go ahead and, through the magic of video editing, fast forward again. In all honesty, it did not take the survivor group long to be able to get all the map pieces. So they're already pressuring this. We find them all here on the pages. And just watch how fast their hunter is able to take down my troops. Now, it took me a minute to realize who the true threat was. She's back there in the back. And she is just going to lay waste to my character. So I'm going to try to fear her, but the survivors are smart and have lights set up in this area. Notice that basic came out and died immediately from probably a well-placed headshot. Alright, so my troops are not up to the level they need to be just yet, but we are going to whittle down. We are going to try to contest this. Remember that we are increasing the amount of time it requires for them to capture this objective by being in the blue circle with them. So that is an important thing. That is part of what we took from the skill tree. So I keep trying to vomit, but and stop the dodging and stop the running away, but it's just not working because they have too few targets. I barely get a hit in on her. She is dodging, shooting, and I vomit on her, but it's too little, too late. They ended me very quickly. Now, you'll notice that I am able to pump out troops very quickly. Basic deadites very quickly. I accidentally took a deadite that did not have a weapon, and I did not realize that and rip my arm off to use it as a weapon. You definitely want to use a weapon if you can at all possible in this game. It does way more damage. But we have done everything that we can here. We are getting banished, so let's go ahead and pump some points in and move on. So I've made it back. They are now on the Kandarian dagger. I miss my fear, whatever they call it. And I decided that I'm going to bring out the big boss now. Now, she's only level 1, so she is going to get slaughtered probably by that hunter. But we are going to try to do as much damage as we possibly can, because she does hit like a Mack truck. She does have her fart. She does have her area effect damage where she'll jump up in the air and slam into the ground. And she does have her grab, which I accidentally broke by hitting the button twice in a row. So we're just going to pump out some basics here, try to take them over, try to get some damage going, but that possession did not work very well. I didn't even realize who I had. Now you'll notice I've maxed basics out now, and I'm working on Infernal Energy and Possession. Possession is good because it increases increases durability at some levels, and it also allows you to stay in for less energy. Of course, I don't have to worry about energy because the Hunter is just making short work of my basics at this time. We're going to have to do something about the Hunters. I'm hoping that once we get to the end game, once they're at the dark ones, that we get a better go at it where they may be unable to focus on our characters as much. Now we are, again, pumping out quite a few basic units each time. 3 basic units, each portal are coming out. They're buffed. They're at max level. So we are attacking their resources, like I said. I am going to place down traps. Once you get banished, your traps, from what I can tell, stay. So this will be something that we can, if they don't trip them now, they may trip once we get banished. Because I can tell you, with this amount of damage they're outputting, as well as that they are staying within the circle, they are going to banish me. And there we go. We are banished. Now finally, we make it to the end game. They're already here. As you can see, I've maxed out my basics. I've almost maxed out the boss, and I just maxed out my Infernal Energy. So we should be a house of fire here. I am going to drop everything that I can, pop my Q, bring in the big lady. Nope, forgot. Didn't get to bring in the big lady. I thought she was coming in. And as you can see, we are just hammering them. Now there's that Hunter. She made a mistake. She got stuck up against the wall, and we were able to down her. Now it's just a matter of time. They are getting swarmed. They don't have that heavy firepower support around them. So now we just have the one survivor left who keeps popping his abilities, but we are on him. I wish the AIs would fight a little bit better because he did take me down. I thought that maybe he would be able to get some people up, so I transformed back in or brought in more troops. And just start. Now you'll notice right here, this is when my sensitivity goes crazy, and I actually lose track of him here in a moment. And yeah, it's not fun. I've got to change my sensitivity settings because it's just barely clicking. Yeah, whoa, where'd he go? All right, yeah, now let's. He still has not been able to get him up. Our puke does a lot of damage because we maxed that out. We're also getting the dark ones with their blasts, and we are able to down the survivors. This was a pretty efficient team. They had a lot of damage output, and they took down a ton of deadites. I mean, you can see here 41, 41, 20, and 14. They killed a lot of basic troops, but we swarmed them. We were able to take the W in this case and move on to fight another day. So yay, so far so good. This is working, but I'll be testing it out a little bit more. So that is gonna do it for this basic build for the Warlord Demon in Evil Dead. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. It means a lot to me. Doesn't cost you a thing, but helps me out a ton. Also, if you can like the video, and maybe leave a comment below telling me what you like about Evil Dead, what you'd like to see me put out next. Anything's on the table, let's make sure that we get some more videos out here. I'm going to keep practicing with this basics build, and I'll be making more videos this week on this basic build. They may not work every time, but it will work sometimes, as we can see here. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out my stream on Tuesday nights on Twitch and Thursday nights here on YouTube. So until then, take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye.